Hey now! What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and this is my 31 days of horror movie reviews. And I just got done watching a movie that I can't believe I am saying that I watched, especially given the title. It's called Clown in the Cornfield. This is a 2025 film that is actually based on a novel with the same name. Truth be told, I remember first hearing about this movie, seeing the name of the movie. I might have even seen a trailer. I don't remember anything about it, but I just remember there being a clown in the cornfield, going after people, chasing people. And I remember thinking, man, this looks dumb. Or at least this sounds dumb. I very much dismissed it. I don't remember if this was in theaters, like a short theatrical run, or maybe it's just straight up released on Shudder because it is a Shudder movie. Either way, I said to myself, I can skip this. Only for me to be looking for movies to watch on my 31 days of horror. And I even looked at movies from this past year, saw that this came out, reminded myself, and said, you know what? Fuck it. What am I doing? I'll just check it out. And honestly, I'm glad I did. This was directed by Eli Craig. And the plot. The plot is we follow Quinn, who I believe is a 17-year-old girl. Her and her father drive from the East Coast, like Philly. And they come to this small town in Kettle Springs, and she's not really having a good time, right? She was sort of taken or moved. She wasn't taken. This isn't Liam Neeson. But she didn't really want to move. They moved because her mother died, so the father had to get away. So they came to this town. She immediately gets into this group of other teenage kids who are, I guess, the rebels of the town. Like, nobody seems to like them. They get blamed for all of the bad shit that has happened in the town. And so you'd think they're a bunch of assholes. In fact, I expected that, oh, they're going to bully this girl because she's new. They're going to treat her like shit. And she might want to join them, but it's going to be this back and forth. No, they immediately accept her into the group. They're like, hey, you're new. Come hang out with us. Come be a part of our... They do this thing where they pull pranks on each other and they record it and put it on YouTube. And so there you go, right? Like, I'm sitting here going, wow, it's subverting some of my expectations on some of these characters. Expecting not to like these characters, but then they're doing stuff to make them somewhat either relatable or likable, or definitely feel contemporary to today's day and age. Now, then you get to the slasher part of this movie. And yes, for anyone that has seen my reviews on horror films knows that I love slasher movies. Like, I love horror, but slasher is where you're going to earn some extra points for me. I'm okay with the ghosts and the demons, but it's not the most scary thing to me. Slashers, you put somebody in a mask, whether it's a clown or whatever type of mask, and I'm immediately more in. So you get this clown who starts to go around and try to kill these kids. And it actually became something where I'm sitting here watching, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I could probably figure out what's going on here, right? Like, maybe this is a Scream situation where you have to try to figure out who the killer is. And I'm sitting here going like, okay, that's probably the killer. I think I have this all figured out. And just in case it's not them, maybe it's that other person over there. Like, I have a couple of guesses, but I'm pretty much fully expecting to be in the correct ballpark. And then when this movie unravels, when this movie says, no, this is actually what's going on, I said, holy fuck. Like, I was very much surprised. The twists and turns galore. But I don't want to give anything away. I fully want people to feel as much like me as possible, where maybe you heard of this movie, maybe you saw the title of this movie and you thought this movie looked dumb, sounds dumb, and you had no interest in seeing it, I would highly recommend this movie. Like, and don't expect this to be the deepest and smartest movie ever. First 5 minutes, this feels like an 80s slasher, like classic. And that's kind of what I like. You see these two teenage kids, and the girl starts to lure and seduce the teenage boy out into the cornfield. And she starts to take her shirt off, and it's like, oh, they're about to have premarital sex. You know what that means? They have to die. And of course, you get that. And then when you get to the main core group of kids, when shit starts hitting the fan, the parts where they're not able to call 911 because there's no cell service. I love that horror movies that are based in today's time have to come up with that terrible excuse of, we have no cell service. Oh darn. Because how the fuck else can you do horror movies with a premise like this? Let's talk about some of the cast. The main girl, Quinn, is played by Katie Douglas. I've never seen this girl before. I tried to look her up, and she's older than 17. She's like 26 years old, but she looks young. So I bought that she was that age, and I thought she was great. It actually makes sense that she's much older than what she was playing, because acting-wise, I thought she was tremendous. I thought she had some scenes of not just the arguments with her father, but her sort of freaking out at the right times, having some comedic timing while not making this too parody or too goofy. Like, I just thought she played this very, very well. Her father is played by Aaron Abrams. I actually like the father. Normally, you get the parents in horror films and they're unreasonable, unlikable. They do a bunch of dumb things to make us not like them. But I thought this guy was really understanding. He felt like a good father that was just trying to do everything the right way. And the group of teenage kids, the rebels, I'm not going to say that they all were likable or some of them didn't have assholey moments. And I'm not even going to say that it's the best acting in the world, but they weren't terrible. Like, I fully expected the acting in this movie to be atrocious, given the title, given what we're talking about, given that it's Shudder. I'm not saying Shudder doesn't have good acting or good horror stuff. They do, but it's just, maybe it's just this some weird stereotype reputation that it's like when I go to watch a movie like this, I expected nothing. I expected nothing, and I was surprised by anything that I thought was decent to just straight up good. Now, the kid, Cole is the one in the group that Quinn ends up befriending and kind of sort of dating, like, immediately right off the bat. And at first I thought, okay, this guy, am I going to like him? Am I going to think he's a douchebag? He's played by Carson McCormer. And I thought he was good, actually. Like, I was quite surprised by not just him, but the character I thought had way more layers than I was expecting. The killer mask, the killer clown, again, it might not feel too original or too special as far as having a mass killer clown, but it did make me think about, while I was watching this, that is clowns like a good thing anymore? Like, remember when clowns used to be the nice, silly, fun circus characters that like kids liked? How long have clowns in media been presented as evil, scary, creepy, distrustful, evil? Like, now we don't like. When did that start? Did that start with Stephen King's It? Did it start before that? Was it John Wayne Gacy? Like, what about clowns? They're now just, there's no such thing as good clowns, at least perception-wise. I just had this thought of, like, man, if anybody wanted to be a good clown, good luck. Maybe that's a movie that somebody could someday, one day, make. The kills were very gory and very bloody, and I was pretty impressed by the practicalness of it. I appreciated how good some of these kills looked, and I guess I appreciated a lot more because I looked at the budget, and the budget was only $1 million. But even saying that, like, sure, $1 million in theory, I guess, could be a lot for one person, but for a movie and for the practical effects that are here, and the fact that we have decent to good actors in this movie, it's quite shocking that the budget was that low. Speaking of some of the actors, we have Will Sasso, who plays the sheriff of the town. And I know what you're thinking. I saw Will Sasso first come in and I thought, is this a Mad TV skit? Like, well, I could not take him seriously at first, but I thought over time he did a good job. And then Kevin Durand, who is one of those dudes that you've seen in probably 100 things, I thought he was really good in this as well. Like I said, surprise twists and turns, like almost the entire way through. And the ending of this movie is very satisfying. Like, 2025 has been a tremendous year for horror. I'm not saying this is the top echelon of like what we got with Sinners and Final Destination and all of the movies that I've been enjoying, but this is pretty damn good, or at least way better than it should be. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of Clown in the Cornfield, if you even bothered to watch it? Did I at least do a decent job of making you curious about it? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!
These silent screams became a part of me. I'm moving past that. Please won't you free my soul? Can't hardly breathe in this society. I'm just a madman. Please, Mr. Real.